I wanted to ask about two personal questions. I wanted to know two like fights that were like, I don't know if they almost happened or maybe they never were even close to happen. But one was Anderson Silva. You guys were both at your primes.
Yeah.
Was that fight ever even being talked about?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it could have happened. And we talk about it. I was with the UFC. I remember with Lorenzo Fertitta and I think it was Dana. We talk about it, but I had a request because I was on a tear. Back then, I was on a tear. I was defending my title on multiple time a year.
Yeah.
And it was at the time right after, I remember I saw Roy Jones go up in the weight class. And when he tried to go down, he got knocked out by Antonio Tarver. And all my trainer told me is, you see what happened when you go up? Going up is not the problem. It's when you try to go back down, you screw your career, you know? Because you don't play with your weight like this. So when we talk about Silva and I had one request, I said, okay, I'll fight Anderson Silva, but in a catch weight. And Silva used to fight in Japan at 160, used to be at 170 in Japan, used to be in the same weight as me. He used to fight in Japan. So I say, I'll fight him in the catch weight. He go down a little bit and I go up a little bit.
Of what, like 180 or 175?
Yeah, something like 180, something like this, you know. A catch weight, you know, because it's, you know,
in the middle.
It's in the middle, you know, like it's a give and take. It's a equal, it's a fair compromise. And also I want a test for drug. I want drug tests. And at that time, it was before USADA and UFC didn't want that. They didn't want starting drug tests because some guys already implement drug tests. When I fought BJ Penn, when I did Hendricks, I did Vada, but it was before, a little bit in between, it was a little bit before Hendricks, that situation that happened. So I said, no problem, I'll do it, but catch weight and drug tests, no problem. And they didn't come back. And also the money, they wanted me to fight on my existing contract. So I'm like, guys, my agent said it's not good because it's something different. They want you to do something that is out of your field. So if it's out, you need to be compensated for. You're taking more risk, you need to be compensated for. So the UFC never wanted to do it. So this fight, I think I will blame the UFC for that.
Was Anderson into it?
I think he was. I don't know if he was because we don't talk directly to my opponent. I think he wanted, he shared interest of fighting, but it's very easy publicly. I love it. Oh yeah, I'll fight him. But then you put some crazy request that will never happen. That's the way to do it. So you don't look like even if I would have lied and said, yeah, I want to fight him and put some crazy requests. And my requests were not crazy. They were really doable. They were fair requests. And he was not interested. Same thing with Khabib. Khabib at one point.
Yeah. So was this one actually ever even being talked about?
I thought it was the only fight I would have come back for. And I remember up to his last fight when he fought Justin Gaethje, I was a commentator in sport broadcast, RDS, French sport broadcast. I was doing the commentating.
Were you there?
No, I was in Montreal. It was during COVID. I was in Montreal, so we couldn't travel here.
Yeah.
It's crazy rules, but anyway. So I was stuck there. And I was doing the commentating and everybody told me, even in his entourage, I say, be ready because he's going to call you out. So I thought I was like, okay, I'm coming out of retirement. I had butterfly. I was like, shit. When I thought I was done, they pulled me right back in, you know, like the famous line, like Al Pacino, I think he says in the movie. So I was like, okay. And then he won, he took his mic and he retired. Yeah. Nobody saw that coming. Even his own people.
We were there.
Yeah.
His own people didn't know that.
I remember looking at Dana.
I knew some people in his camp told me that he was going to call me out and he retired. And you know what? It's maybe better like that for both of us. So we have a good ending. Because if we would have fight, one of us would have lose, you know? So it's a good thing. You know, I look at it now, I'm like, maybe like when you're in a competitive mind, you have to be greedy, you have to be selfish. I was thinking about it to do it, you know?
Really? So I didn't know that. I didn't know that you were actually into it.
It would be very uncomfortable for me. I don't like to fight, but it was the fight that would get me to come back for because you have a lot to lose, but a lot to win too. So it was worth it. So I would have done it. Damn.